About 6 years ago, I spent nearly a year writing the ultimate English grammar course. But it was never released. It was never recorded. I never edited it. This was in the days when there was no
Artificial intelligence or AI is already a part of our daily lives. But just imagine, what if you could use this technology to create a personal assistant that fixes all of your English grammar mistakes? That incredible idea is exactly what we're going to explore today. So let's dive in and learn all about it.
AI. So every single word in that course was written by me. No help from ChatGPT. There was no ChatGPT. And so it's always been kind of a sad thing for me that this, what I think is a great original course, is just kind of sitting there on the electronic shelf, gathering electronic dust. And in the back of my mind, there's always this thought, that's really good content. I wrote so many examples. I spent so much time on it. And then, recently, OpenAI announced the Agentkit, their visual agent builder. And suddenly I had this thought, oh, wait a second. What if the perfect use case for this great course that I spent nearly a year on is the ultimate English grammar agent? Yeah, you can go around ChatGPT, whatever tool, and ask grammar questions. But how systematic will it be? How reliable will the examples be? But if I could build an agent that only used the original examples that I created, I could put it out there knowing that it was using my sources from before the time when AI was even a real thing. Well, that is what we are going to attempt to create today together. I have not built an agent before using Agentkit, but we're going to check it out and we're going to try to do this. I'm going to be using the source. I'm going to be using all of the examples I created for that course. And we'll see what happens. If you haven't done so already, make sure to hit the like button and subscribe. That's very helpful. Simple thing you can do. It shows the algorithm that you'd like other people to see the video if you find it useful. Check out the 90-day program as well. All right, let's get into it. Okay, so I think what we want to do, we have different options here for Agent Builder. And I think the official name is Agentkit, but okay, Agent Builder, Agentkit. Planning helper, data enrichment, customer service. I don't want it to be a Q&A. Internal knowledge assistant. So answering questions and helping based on internal knowledge, which would be my document, right? Your screen is too small for Agent Builder. Make your screen wider or open on desktop. Okay, let's do that. Okay, so here we have what looks like a kind of template. And I like that it's a visual builder. Hopefully that will make things a bit easier. First is query rewrite. Rewrite the user's question to be more what? Move myself over here. Okay. Rewrite the user's question to be more specific and relevant to the knowledge base. Okay, let's try that. Again, I don't really know what I'm doing here, so the only thing we can do is try stuff. Model GPT-5, reasoning effort low, tools. We could add MCP server, web search, code interpreter, client tool. Okay. Then we have another agent here that classifies. Instead of Q&A here, I want it to be the knowledge base. The knowledge base. Thank you. Or fact-finding process. Do I want that? Is that what I want? Is that what I really want to happen? To use the knowledge base or ask a clarifying question. So maybe the agent would ask a question to get more clarification on the question, right? And then find knowledge from the knowledge base. Okay, let's try that. And by the way, this could really kill Zapier someday. I mean, Zapier has way more integrations, right? Right now, MCP allows you to integrate basically, a bunch of tools, Gmail, Outlook, Dropbox. You can use Zapier, Shopify, Stripe, Plaid. So you can integrate a bunch of them, but eventually I could see that replacing Zapier. I really could. But that's cool because if you can connect to Zapier, you can connect to literally thousands of tools and platforms. That's very cool. Okay, if knowledge base, if clarifying question. So now we set an agent for what about the knowledge base? Answer the user's question using the knowledge tools, the knowledge base. Knowledge base is one word, right? Is it 2 words? Why did I think knowledge base was 1 word? Apparently I'm wrong about that. Be concise and answer succinctly using bullet points and summarizing the answer up front. Also, use simple language and assume the user is a non-native English speaker. Cite examples explicitly from the knowledge base. And the tool, I'm not going to do web search. Here for tool, I want file search. So here I can upload my file. And my file is basically just a gigantic TXT file. A huge TXT file, rich text format file. I think I could use a PDF. And I know you're thinking, okay, 1 file, is that enough? You don't understand. You don't understand how big how much text this is. It is an insane amount of text. And it looks like this format is not uploadable. So I will simply open this and turn it into a PDF. And that should do the trick. Okay, PDF. Yes. Yes. Okay, the PDF works. Okay, we attach the PDF. Again, I want to stress, yes, you could build a GPT with this. Yes, you could build a little tool that just gives quick responses. Yes, you could just ask any random grammar question. But I think there's real value in finding stuff from one source so that there's consistency. This is not just randomly browsing and finding grammar bits and pieces from here and there, or just coming up with it on the spot. Hopefully there are no hallucinations. This is, okay, I know it's coming from this source. I spent a year on this thing. So it's highly accurate, right? That's the key thing here. So if it does a good job of navigating through this and providing good answers, I think that this is huge. Output format is text, so there we go with that. And then this one, clarifying questions. Okay, so for this one, for clarifying question, if we want to do this, or if maybe the user's initial whatever they say isn't enough to say go look in the knowledge base, then I think we could say something like this. Act as a patient English tutor, not providing answers immediately, but rather asking questions and making suggestions to get the user to clarify what they are looking for or what they want to learn, right? So that's basically branch 1, you ask very clearly something that's in the knowledge base. Branch 2, you say, hey, I'm hungry. That's not really clear what the intention is. So then ask clarifying questions until we get to the part where, or the point where we can then look in the knowledge base, right? I think that makes sense. Again, I'm new at this, but I think that makes sense. Oh, I need to spell this correctly. That would be great. And for the clarifying question, you know what? Turn off all tools, I think. I don't think I need any tools for that. I think this clarifying questions agent can handle that, and so I think I can delete this. So here we can just get rid of the else here. Yeah, okay, so these are connected to these two, and then this one, we don't need it. We don't need it. So let's try it. Let's preview this thing. Let's preview this turkey here. So let's see if I could just ask a specific question. Can you please explain everything about pronouns? Okay, let's just ask a question. Here we go. Hey guys, it's me from later in the evening, and I recorded for a while after this and just wasn't able to get it working well. And it's honestly because I was just trying it for the first time. So I've had a little bit more time to play with it, and it is working now. So I would recommend just starting from a template, plugging in, for example, the sources you want to use, like your PDFs, and changing nothing else. Then iterating from there, changing things from there slowly to see which things do which things. But let me just show you what it looks like. And it's pretty cool, but after this, I'm going to show you how we can do something similar actually using Google Gemini. So once I choose the models I want to use, GPT-4o, and I upload the document to the right places, pretty straightforward. You just ask a question, tell me about pronouns, and you see the steps happening. And so then you get basically something that looks like a ChatGPT response. In some ways, it's kind of like Notebook LM because it's pulling it from specific sources. The difference between this and Notebook LM is that I could embed this as an agent somewhere and include the source, the resource, the PDF that I created. I could just put it out there wherever I want. Whereas in ChatGPT, in Notebook LM, that's each person's space for uploading their own resources. It's not as shareable. So I may not want the PDF out there, right? I may just want the grammar expert tool out there. In that case, this would be a really good option. Now, what about a GPT? Now, I've found that GPTs are pretty good at following instructions and using those instructions for an interaction. They're good at that. But when it comes to actually searching through documents, sometimes it works and sometimes it doesn't. So here are basically the high-level details: subject pronouns, object pronouns, reflexive pronouns. Okay, we know this, for example, myself, yourself, himself, herself, itself. Possessive adjectives: my, your, our, their, his, her, its. Possessive pronouns: mine, yours, ours, theirs, his, hers. And this is all in the source, right? English Grammar by Example, the PDF. Some example sentences: Billingsworth is applying to Stanford. He has a good chance of getting in. He here is in bold to show that that's the key thing that we're learning here, or we're looking at here. We got our house at a good price. It only needed a few renovations. And I know this is basic, but we're just using this to test out the responses that we get. Then here, pulling from the sources, and this is one thing that gets focus in the content of the course: a noun phrase acts like a noun. It can be replaced by a pronoun. This, it, that. Very important. So I think this is pretty good information, and it's good to be able to see transparently where it's all coming from, sort of the steps that are happening along the way. And this, once I test it out more, I think could turn out to be a fantastic way to provide knowledge without necessarily providing the thing that knowledge is based on, which is, I think, makes it a little easier to interact with. All right, now let's check out how we could do this in Google Gemini. I like to play with Google Gemini. I think it's good for vibe coding.
All right, I should not go into the agent builder totally blind. That's what I've learned. I need to learn what I'm doing. So let me see if I can do something like this in Gemini, just for fun. So I'm going to say, build the ultimate English grammar agent. It should be a simple text chat. The agent should search the PDF knowledge base and provide examples from that knowledge base, supplemented by an overview, summary, and or explanation. Minimal yet elegant design language. Okay, there's the PDF. And we asked Gemini to just build the sucker. Wow, so Google's solution to this seems to be to reproduce the entire text internally. Here it goes. Those look right. There's the transitive and intransitive. See, I was telling you, it's a lot. This is a lot of stuff. So this is what I call proactive problem solving. It just keeps going and going and going. Okay, wow. over 2,400 lines. It onboarded the entire thing. Now let's give it a try. Hey, let's give it a try. Tell me, still invisible, tell me about transitive and intransitive verbs. I don't know why I always type that incorrectly. Okay, here we go. Transitive verb is a verb that must have an object. This means the action of the verb is done to something or to someone. You can often identify a transitive verb by asking, did it to what or who? An intransitive verb, on the other hand, does not have an object. The action of an intransitive verb simply happens, and while it might tell you where, when, or how the action occurred, it doesn't transfer the action to a direct object. Examples from the guide for transitive verbs: ice cream rots your teeth, the store gave her the wrong receipt, we ate breakfast and then went to school. Intransitive: I slept for an hour, we walked until the sun came up, the coffee shop closed after 31 years of business. So now, if I were going to keep iterating this here in Google AI Studio, I would work on the formatting, I would work on adding more context, possibly relevant responses generate a helpful image. The chat should continue. So I don't know, I may end up building a grammar engine to answer any grammar question or help with grammar. This might be a good way to do it. I think in terms of as a vibe coding tool, and I've used all of them, Claude is good. Claude Code is very good. But also, I think Gemini is really good simply for ease of use, right? Gemini is pretty good, and it allows you to iterate things very quickly and then play with it and see what you like and what you don't like. So, I don't know, where are we with this? Well, I learned that you can't just jump into, maybe you can't just directly hop into something that you haven't learned about enough. So, for the agent builder, I think it's my fault, right? I didn't come prepared, and I didn't do research. I was just jumping in to see what I could do, which ended up being nothing. So I switched to a tool that I have used more, and I got basically what I wanted, but now it needs a ton of refinement. But I still want to be able to use, because they're two different things, right? Agent Builder, you can link way more things. You can connect tools together. You can link to Zapier and email. You can moderate incoming messages and provide, I think, rich output. So I'm not saying these two things are equivalent. I'm saying for specifically what I was trying to create, I had to basically turn to a more familiar friend, Google AI Studio, which is fun. A fun place to create and build stuff. Very fun. So maybe I'll do another video on OpenAI's Agent Builder after I have spent some time actually learning about it a bit more, playing with it a bit more, and have a good sense for what it can and can't do. I think the possibilities are pretty exciting. The idea of having more connectors inside of the Agent Builder to basically, I don't know, automate pretty much anything in an agentic way. That possibility is pretty exciting. Let me know what you think in the comments if you haven't done so already. Don't forget to hit the like button and subscribe, and get a free course in the links in the description, Natural English Conversations. And of course, check out the 90-day program, and I will see you in